Hey y'all, what's going on? Welcome back to another video. In this video, I'm going to be giving you my review of JoJo's Bizarre Adventure Part 6, Stone Ocean. As most of you may know, the first 12 episodes of Part 6 was released on December 1st on Netflix. So this won't be a review of the whole series, this is going to be a review of the first 12 episodes. Before we get into the video, please be sure to subscribe to the channel and hit the notification bell to get notified for more content that I put out. As well as if you enjoy the video, please be sure to leave a like and leave a comment as well. So without further ado, let's just get into it.
And let's just jump into it.
For the most part, this part of JoJo is turning out to be my favorite part so far. Honestly, yeah, it's only 12 episodes out right now, but I didn't feel like any episode I watched was dragging. I ended up binging all 12 episodes in one night, which is not something that I've done in a long time watching anime. The intro for this season, I am messing with this heavy. I have not been skipping it not once each time it plays. And we all know that JoJo intros are usually fire, but I'm messing with this one right here. I'm also messing with Jolene's theme song when she's fighting. As soon as that song starts playing when she's fighting, it's like so far, Jolene Cujo is also turning out to be my favorite JoJo. Jolene is the first female JoJo protagonist that we've had. Jolene Cujo is Jotaro Kujo's daughter from Part 3, Stardust Crusaders. And he ended up having a kid with some nameless woman in America. Jolene's personality so far, I'm really liking. The difference so far between Jolene and the other JoJo protagonists is for the most part her motivations. Not only her motivations, but her personality as well. Jolene Cujo is shown to be not aggressively overpowered, not too stoic like some of the other ones, and not too playful. She reminds me a lot of Josuke for the most part. I know I've said that Giorno Giovanna is my favorite JoJo, but so far this is changing with these first 12 episodes. Jolene's stand stone free is not aggressively overpowered so far. She has a little bit of power buff and a speed buff, but her stand makes sense. Yeah, she uses yarn or string. I can't really figure out what the material is, but she uses it to her advantage. Out of all the JoJo main character protagonist stands, hers seems like the most easy to understand for the most part. Everyone else's seems convoluted and it's really, they just start doing kind of bullshit things and it's really hard to explain them honestly. Like,
that's some bullshit.
Golden Wind, like that one, you can't really, or Gold Experience, sorry. I can't even really figure out what exactly his powers are. And even Josuke's powers, I can't really understand that well either. And Jotaro's powers are pretty basic before he figures out how to use Sawardo. I'm really liking Jolene's stand. Like this is a plus for me and I'm enjoying the way that she utilizes it. Also, her motivation and her personality for being here is top notch, honestly. The setting of this takes place in 2011 in Florida in a prison. And honestly, this is the best kind of setting we've had yet. Everything else prior for other JoJo parts have kind of been like a kind of big grand adventure where the characters are usually just traveling all over the place. What I like about this one is this is in a very condensed, tight setting, which makes the stand battles really creative that we get. It being a specific jail setting shows to have its own personality in itself. You know, there's plenty of dynamics that we're used to seeing if you watch things like Orange is the New Black when you're in jail. And the fact that there's a whole bunch of women in the jail, as well as the other part being a male jail. Green Dolphin State Prison, that's the name of the prison in the series. You know, there's a male side too, so it's not just female characters in here. The anime opens with this scene where it's crazy, are making fun of her because one of the guards caught her masturbating, which is crazy. She's like super embarrassed, but they're like, nah man, she just had to get her shit off. And I feel you, get your shit off, queen. After this scene, we start to figure out what got Jolene here in the first place. She's apparently being framed for a DUI, in which her ex-boyfriend, I think his name is Romeo, and his lawyer end up finessing her and end up having her stuck in jail. She does find a way to get revenge and finesse it once she starts to figure out her stand ability because she got a locket from her father, Jotaro. And this is where we figure out more of, you know, Jolene's personality and her motivation. You know, she's kind of the best of all worlds between all the JoJo characters. She's not too quiet, she's not too overpowered, she's not too playful, playful. She is kind of the perfect blend of everything we've gotten so far into one ball. She's also not overly righteous, which makes it a little bit more complex. I also like the way she uses her brain and her stand ability. She's not shown to be overly powerful like Giorno, because Giorno just seems to always know a way out of everything. I think what's making me enjoy Jolene a lot more, as well as her stand battles and her stand ability, is the support she's getting from the cast around her. You know, she's not just taking things one-on-one, and she's not also just playing an aggressive supporting role like Giorno did. It's a lot of teamwork that's taking place in all her battles. I really enjoy Hermes Costello as well. Hermes Costello is, I guess, just this jail veteran who just knows how to move in prison. I really like her, but I'm not that fond of her stand ability, Kiss, I believe. Some of my favorite moments in the anime that I've seen so far is how Jolene asserts her dominance in jail with the other inmate. You know, like I said before, the jail itself has its own personality, and there are things that come with this being in jail, because she ends up like lending money to somebody and it turns into a whole fiasco. And the way that Jolene is petty, she definitely made sure nobody is gonna fuck with her again. I also enjoyed the moment, which I think I'm going out of order, but you know, when she first got into jail, but she was she had to share a room with what's that character's name? Gwes? I may be pronouncing it incorrectly, which seems like something that would happen in any type of prison show where a new inmate comes in and, you know, they try to take the bunk by accident, the bottom bunk, and causes a whole friction. And then we find out that Gwis actually has a stand, and that's where, you know, Jolene finally fully manifests her stand ability stone free. I like how they introduced Jotaro and integrated him to the story. Obviously, this is his daughter, so I think he was going to be a little bit more involved. But in Golden Wind, Koichi showed up and then disappeared right away after like 2 episodes. Jotaro's here for, you know, that short amount of time, but you know what happens here at this point where he ends up, spoiler alert, sorry, he ends up dying because of their battle with White Snake and I forget the other stand name that they were fighting against, when he tries to visit and break Jolene out of jail. I was actually really shocked that they decided to go with the route of actually killing him. I feel like this was actually a smarter way to try to remove him from the story. But it confuses me because I feel like Jotaro's stand was kind of OP in the other parts, and they keep finding ways to like make him a little bit weaker as each part goes on. I get stands become a lot more complicated and he's not the main character anymore. It's not about him. But, you know, that's just a little nitpick.
Oh my god.
I also really enjoyed the episode where they introduced FF, aka Foo Fighters. This episode had me just trying to figure out what was going on. I really thought I had this figured out, and it felt like a murder mystery episode for the most part. I did not know where this stand was coming from, whose stand this was, and for it to be like plankton and some water or whatever that got a stand ability is ridiculous to me. So doubling back, after Jotaro dies, I like that we kind of get it revealed that this White Snake stand has the ability to remove somebody's or alter somebody's memory, as well as take their stand ability and insert it wherever they want. Obviously, the person has to be compatible with the stand, so like if the stand is too strong for that person, you can't just take it and put it into anybody, so it can be useless. The CD disc can be just completely useless. I like that tidbit, but this has made this taking place in a jail a lot more inconvenient for Jolene, because now there's just random stand enemies everywhere, and there's one thing you know about stand users, they are attracted to each other. Another thing that I enjoyed was the Jolene and Weather Report combined fight against Jumping Jack Flash. This was super duper creative. Granted, I think Weather Report's stand is too OP at this point. Like, my man can just do anything. Like, he's basically Storm from X-Men, except that he makes frogs come from the sky, which is very interesting. The stand battles in this series have shown to be really on point this part. And another thing that I did enjoy is seeing Poochie, who was our antagonist for the most part, and he's, I guess, a Dio fanboy. So it's kind of funny because his motivations for doing this are kind of silly. So I don't really have that many cons for the first 12 episodes. Here are some of the ones I do have. I don't really like that character Emporio. He creeps me out OD. I don't know his deal. I can't really wrap my head around of like whether he's a stand user or he's just like a ghost. I'm confused. Maybe I need to rewatch the episode, and maybe it's just my stupidity. So maybe somebody else can explain it to me.
Loser! You're a loser! Are you feeling sorry for yourself? Well, you should be, because you are dirt! You make me sick, you big baby!
I also did not like the episode when Hermes Costello was fighting Highway to Hell. I think that's stand user, the one where like whatever damage happens to him, or if he commits suicide, it happens to you. I thought that episode was kind of just, I didn't enjoy it that much. I also didn't really enjoy the Debt Collector episode either. This is when Jolene and FF and Hermes was fighting against the stand Marilyn Manson. It was just like whatever. I mean, I like the last part where Jolene was using the baseball to beat the hell out of the stand user for Marilyn Manson, but other than that, that episode was kind of weak for me too. I mean, these are, you know, my quick, random, rambling-esque thoughts on the series. I'm really enjoying it. And these first 12 episodes might be the best first 12 I've seen so far in JoJo. A lot of the other parts, I felt like it was a little bit slow. And I just wasn't that interested in the characters yet. It took some time, and I felt like I was getting introduced to people too slowly. I don't know. But this one is staying interesting, and I think the setting and the character of Jolene is making it that way. You know, everything is tight and compact, like I said before, and it's really enjoyable, and it makes sense. You know, Jolene's motivations make sense of why she's doing this. She's not doing this just for some weird random reason. She's trying to prove her innocence, get out of jail, get revenge, and revive her father, in which I think that those are the best motivations for a JoJo that we've gotten yet. Because even in Stardust Crusaders, where Jotaro's motivation was going to be to make his mother feel better, they completely forgot that storyline, and we didn't talk about that again. Granted, it is a popular thing that Araki, the creator, forgets things. And, you know, every other JoJo after that just didn't seem to have any reason to be fighting against the antagonist. I feel like a JoJo versus the antagonist situation hasn't felt this personal since Dio versus Jonathan Joestar. I mean, overall, if I have to give these first 12 episodes a ranking, I can give it a 8.5 out of 10. I recommend anybody who's into JoJo to watch this. And if you haven't started watching JoJo yet, it's kind of really hard to recommend, you know, just jumping into this part without knowing the other stuff. But I think you could enjoy this. It's really rare when we get to see a female protagonist in anime, and I think this is a good treat. But, you know, those are my thoughts on the first 12 episodes of JoJo Part 6, Stone Ocean. Let me know your thoughts on the episode in the comment section below. As well as if you enjoyed this video, please leave a like. And if you haven't already, please be sure to subscribe to the channel and hit the notification bell to get notified for more content that I put out. So, on that note, y'all, enjoy your life.
I'm feeling great and feel the vibe. I'm really grateful we alive. And I'm feeling great cause lately I've been on the way to something great. And I feel alive cause I create like every day and I'm on today.